is how we party. We define the party. This is how we party. We define the party. This is how we This is how we party. We define the party. This is how we party. We define the party. This is how we party. Lifting up the name of Jesus. Every moment in your freedom makes me wanna dance. Makes me wanna dance. Makes me wanna dance. Makes me wanna
stirring us to stand among the shifting sands. At your word we rise and prophesy. Let the weak say I am strong. Let us sing a victory song to the King of Kings, Jesus Christ. Let your authority rise in me, break every stronghold. No weapon formed could wage war against your throne. Now everything must bow its knee to the King of Kings and your authority. And when I speak, darkness must flee. You have given me your authority. So I am not afraid of the mountain in my way. When I speak, it will begin to shake. Let your authority rise in me, break every stronghold. No weapon formed could wage war against your throne. Now everything must bow its knee to the King of Kings and your authority. And when I speak, darkness must flee. You have given me your authority. And every promise you have spoken, I receive. I receive. Windows of heaven are wide open over me, over me. And every promise you have spoken, I receive. Oh, I receive. Windows of heaven are wide open over me, over me. Let your authority rise in me, break every stronghold.
All right, Awaken Kids. We are in a brand new series called Secret Sauce, where this month we're talking about relationships. We're talking about the secret sauce that goes into healthy and thriving relationships. That means relationships with our parents, relationships with our friends, our family, and also, just as important, a relationship with God. So first, let's kick it off with the subject of love with, I believe, Mr. Alex. But before we go there, let's first jump over to the memory verse. Not with this guy, but let's kick it over to Miss Emily. Give it up for Miss Emily!
Hey Awaken Kids, this month's memory verse is out of the book of James, chapter 1, verses 19 through 20.
Wait! Okay, before we go into the memory verse with Miss Emily, I just really like doing this part. So, first off, can I get a yeah from my girls? Can I get a yeah from my boys? And can I get a yeah from the volunteers? And last but not least, can I get a yeah from my vibe team in the back? Yeah, okay. Now that we got that out of the way, everyone's juiced up, ready to go. Now, let's welcome Miss Emily for the memory verse.
James, chapter 1, verses 19 through 20. It says, "Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. You must all be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Human anger does not produce the righteousness God desires." All right, repeat after me. James 1, 19 through 20. Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. You must all be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. You guys know how this works. Go home, memorize your verse, and come back to win prizes and points for your team. All right, guys, we're gonna do this all together. James 1, 19 through 20. Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. You must all be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
What's up, kids? This is Alex, Mr. Ramos. I am here to talk to you about love. This month we are talking about relationships. Let me tell you a story about two best friends. Yes, love can happen in friendships, and it happens all the time. So bros, hit your bros, ladies, your sisters, and let's get into it. Once upon a time, there was a prince named Jonathan, and there was a lonely shepherd, and you might know him by David. And they became best friends. Now, David was always at the palace as he was the musician for King Saul. Now, Jonathan and David got to know each other really, really well and formed an awesome, awesome friendship. All the way to the point where they knew that they had each other's backs and they made a promise to always be each other's best friends and look out for each other. We all know David because he obviously defeated Goliath. With the sling, killed him, cut off his head. Super, super crazy, super cool. David started to grow in popularity, even more popular than the king. And Saul did not like that. So Saul started to plan devious, evil sorts of things to kind of get David out of the spotlight. Normally this would be an issue, but David had someone on the inside, Jonathan. Jonathan knew that his dad, the king, had it out for David. He did not like how popular he was getting. So he warned David of his father and some of the bad things that he was planning for him. David took the hint and thanked Jonathan and thanked him for honoring their promise that they had so long ago when they were kids. As time went on, King Saul knew that this was an issue and had to remove his son Jonathan from the situation. And so there was a separation. And it was kind of like a long distance friendship. Jonathan still honored his father and still honored his best friend, David. Later on, Jonathan and Saul were fighting a battle against the Philistines, and unfortunately both of them died. David heard about the deaths and mourned their deaths. Not just because his best friend died, but his best friend's dad died as well. David honored their relationship and loved Jonathan so much that he made it a point to always honor anybody that came from the family, even though the dad was trying to kill him. Years later, we find out later in the Bible that Jonathan had this long lost brother named Mephibosheth. Everybody say it with me, Mephibosheth. Mephibosheth. Mephibosheth met David long after his dad and his brother died and thought that David would want to kill him. Why? Because of Mephibosheth's father, Saul, being the enemy of David. But because David's friendship and promise and love was so strong for Jonathan, David honored that friendship and loved Jonathan so much that he made sure Mephibosheth never had to worry about a thing and took care of him as he was his own family. What have we learned today? Well, we learned 1, love will cover a multitude of sins. In this story, even though Saul tried to kill David, David honored the relationship and loved Jonathan so much that when later on in life, when one of Saul's other sons thought that, oh, my dad was trying to get you, so, don't hurt me, I didn't do it. David's response was, no, I loved your brother so much that I'm gonna take you in as my own family. Number 2, love honors. Jonathan honored David by letting him know, hey, you probably shouldn't come over to the palace right now. My dad's not really, looking forward to seeing you. Probably stay home. And on the other side, David made sure that Jonathan's family was always taken care of. All right, now I want to challenge you guys. First, how do we implement love into our current friendships? How can we grow in love in our current friendships? So, does that mean forgiving your best friend for what they did? Or is it just giving them more respect and not really treating them, unfairly or like you're familiar with them? That same thing can happen up to your parents as well. How can you love them more? How can you grow in that more? All right, I'm gonna save the rest of that for next week. We're gonna talk about honor. But for now, go ahead and watch this.
Hello, welcome to Science with Goofenstein. Today, helping me is I had to hire an assistant. Help me welcome. What's your name again? Please help me welcome my trusty assistant who is interning for the very first time today, whose name I think is Philip. Philip, welcome. Yeah, Philip, you're in my personal space. Philip, say hello to the kids.
Hello.
So today Philip is helping
So
me.
excited to be helping you, Master.
Yes, it's Professor. Don't call me Master.
Okay, Master.
Okay, Professor. Currently, Philip is supposed to be boiling a couple of items for me.
My lunch.
So we're gonna need a few things for this exercise today. First of all, which we need.
It's ready.
Sit back and support it. First, we need carrots, a carton of eggs, coffee beans brought to you by the King's Craft Coffee Company.
Do you need me to crush those for you?
Here we have coffee beans, the egg, which we will talk about, and then we have the carrot, which we will also talk about. But do you hear that? Stop eating the science!
I'm sorry.
So, number 1, we know that this egg, though it has a hard shell on the outside, it is soft and squishy and slimy on the inside. Philip, describe to me this carrot as it appears.
Well, it looks orange. It grows from the ground,
Okay, now-
straight up.
That's actually not true. It's actually a root. It's why it's a vegetable. It goes down. What is this?
It's missing its green top.
Yeah, that's because you ate it.
Did I?
The opposite of soft is
Crunchy.
starts with an H, ends with hard.
I don't know.
It's hot. Philip is going to boil some hot boiling water, and you're going to insert 1 egg, 1 different non-eaten carrot,
I'll get right on that.
and so Philip, don't forget to make the coffee.
I like coffee.
Okay, so that's personal space boundaries. Now, let us conduct the experiment.
Pronto a far tutto la notte e
Don't
giorno,
eat
e
the
per il
carrots!
giorno il giro sta, miglior cuccagna per un barbiere, vita più nobile non si dà. La 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 la.
You go back. Oh!
Get new eggs!
Figaro, 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 Figaro. Qua. Figaro. Son qua, Figaro qua, Figaro là, Figaro qua, Figaro là, Figaro su, Figaro giù, Figaro su, Figaro sono il factotum delle città, delle città, delle città, delle città, delle città. Bravo Figaro, bravo bravissimo, bravo Figaro, bravo bravissimo. A te fortuna, a te fortuna, a te fortuna, non mancherà. La 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 la. A te fortuna, a te fortuna, a te fortuna, non mancherà.
Bit vanished.
Sono il factotum della città, della città, della città, della città.
Philip! Personal space. Bubbles. Personal bubbles. Philip, I need you to grab an uncooked carrot and an uncooked egg.
Yes, master.
Professor, don't call me that.
Sorry, master.
I forgive you. Don't let it happen again. As we discussed earlier, the egg, soft and squishy and slimy on the inside. The carrot, hard. Now what we did is we boiled a cup of water. Well, a pot of water. So we took the water and we brought it to a boil. This represents the environment. Everybody say environment. Environment. So what we do is we turn the culture a certain temperature. You have the egg, which was very soft. When it was exposed to the culture of the water that was boiling, it became something different. What did it become?
Oh, you see that where it starts with the H
Yes,
and ends in odd?
that's the one. It became what?
I don't know.
Hard! It became hard.
Oh, hard.
And as you can see, this, if I were to crack it earlier, it would go all over the place. But now, if I crack it, mercy. See, look at this. Look, see, the egg was affected by the culture. Therefore, it was hardened. Right? Now, what happened to the carrot? Again, very hard on the external, but when exposed to the culture, what happens? This carrot becomes soft, pliable, and fragile. Now, see, the egg and the carrot were both exposed to the same culture of water, but one became soft, it was hard. One became hard, and it was soft. So, we don't want to be the egg, we don't want to be the carrot, which gets exposed to difficult conditions, and then they are changed from the inside out. Rather, we want to be more like the coffee beans. So, the coffee beans, same culture, same water, same environment, but when the beans went in, they were not affected by the culture, they were not affected by the water. Again, the water
They
once-
made coffee.
Yes. Don't throw the final words out there like that.
Oh, okay.
Just spit out. The water looked like this first, and then exposed to the coffee, and it changed the water. It changed the culture around it. So when we are exposed to an environment or to a culture, our goal is to be the coffee, not the carrot, not the eggs that are affected by the culture, but instead be the coffee bean, which changes the culture around it. And that, my friends, is science with Goofenstein.
I want some.
That's very hot. Philip, give me some ice. Very hot. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's experiment with science with Professor Goofenstein.
And his assistant, Philip.
Yes, and Philip, who knows no bounds in light of personal space. So, thank you, Philip. You're dismissed.
Thank you, Master.
And it's Professor!
Sorry, Master.
And stop calling me that! Is that good? I feel like we got everything that we needed. This is